Hi, it's Angela from Angela's Paper Arts. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator based in Melbourne, Australia, and today I want to do a quick video on how to make this card, the floating gap card. It does stand by itself, and you can decorate it on the back and write a sentiment in the back and write your message to the recipient. It's quite a simple card to make, and I've pre-done some of it to make this video a bit quicker. It did remind me of, in concept, of the split panel card, where you basically split the card base in two and join it with an element. That was a center split panel card, and this is a side split panel card, where, as you can see, the two bits of the card base have been split and attached with a focal element in the middle. So I do have to give credit to Iced Images on their YouTube channel. I saw a similar design there, so that's the inspiration for this card. I did want to do one in metric measurements because I haven't been able to find one in metric online, and I also wanted a square card. And so this is my design and my measurements as to how to create this style of floating gap card into a square card, which I think looks good. So we will be using the Celebrating You stamp set. I am using the Happy Birthday sentiment out of this stamp set. As you can see, there's lots of different sentiments on here, and it's very versatile stamp set. It is red rubber, so always get a good image and good for just stamping or even heat embossing. I will also be using the Good Fortune dies, and I'll be using this die in particular and this smaller one. This does have a coordinating stamp set, but it is retiring in June, at the end of May, beginning of June. So if you want it, you might have to get in quickly. The other thing I'm using today is the Fabulous Frame dies. Now, these are new in the 2022-23 annual catalogue. They just came out a few weeks ago. And you can see there's different photo corners that you can use down here. And these are the frames. I will be using this centre frame, and you may see that on it there are extra bits of embossing that happen as when you run through your cardstock to die cut it. There's also an oval and a little sentiment banner in that new set. So I thought I had to have a play with that. Also using the gold and rose gold 6x6 metallic specialty paper today, because it pairs beautifully with the Symbols of Fortune designer series paper. Again, this is, I'll just flip it over so you can read the Symbols of Fortune specialty paper. It is retiring in a few weeks' time. So if you do like the gold, grey and white colour scheme, I'm always one for metallics, so I do love all that beautiful gold. There are different styles of paper throughout, and of course on the other side you've got more neutral types of patterns which you can use as well. So it depends on what you like, whether you like the gold or whether you like that style of paper instead. Right, so what I'm going to do is just tell you what you need, and you can follow along. So you will need 2 pieces of cardstock, 10 by 4 centimetres by 14 centimetres, and you score at the 5.2 centimetre mark. So you need 2 of those, and they form the base. You will need, let's do that. The next part is the mat. So you need 4 of these, and it's 4.7 by 13.5 centimetres. They will get layered onto here. And you will also need 4 pieces of designer series paper. As I said, I'm using Symbols of Fortune today, and that's 4.4 by 13.2 centimetres. In addition to that, you will need a centerpiece and a little piece to go on the back of your card as well. I've already pre-done this so I can make it a quick video, but as you can see, I did use the die cuts from the die set I just showed you, and the happy birthday in the Celebrating You stamp set, and a couple of gems to finish it off. And this is the frame. So when you die cut the frame, it actually comes in two pieces. You get the frame as well as the insert. You can see I've already mixed and matched here. And then you can just layer them together and pop them on a card however you like, that way or that way. But you might be able to see, in fact, you'll be able to see it better on this one. You can see, and I've got, that's tape. You can see the embossing that happens when you run this through your die cut machine. So you don't have to do two passes. It will just takes one pass, and that automatically gets embossed onto your frame, which I think is quite pretty. Okay, so to assemble, I'm just going to put those aside. In fact, I'll put them there so you can read in case you're wanting to take down the measurements. So I have already cut my card base, and I have started layering it. I do have one panel to go, so it was as easy as layering that onto there and then onto here. So I'll just get some Tombow out. I've already put some tape on there to make things quicker. And then you just get it even. And the advantage of Tombow is that you've got that wiggle room when you put your piece of paper down. And now I'm just going to make sure it hasn't moved. No, it hasn't. And I'm just taking the tape backing off the designer series paper and adhering that down. And now I'm just going to put some Tombow on the back of the whole panel, and got to make sure it's the right way up because this pattern is directional, so I don't want to put it upside down. So just be careful when you are adhering your panels that you do get them the right way around. So I'm just going to make sure that hasn't moved. No, it hasn't. And taking the backing off as well. And there we go. All right, so that is our 4 panels done onto the card base. Just going to move those. I am going to give you, this is a little tip on how to get this all lined up. I'm going to use my Simply Scored tool, and when you are, let me get this right. There we go. When you are getting ready to adhere this central panel, here, I found it easiest to use my Simply Scored tool and put things in position, and then I can put that at the 14 centimetre mark so it's lined up perfectly straight, and that way I get the card base straight. So for the time being, I'm just going to set that aside because I want to adhere this onto here first. In fact, what I'll do this one first, and what I tend to do, I just use an old punch just to keep things in place and make things easier. And I've already put tear and tape on the back. Because this is going to hold the whole card together, my suggestion is that you use the tear and tape adhesive because it's really strong adhesive. So I'm going to put this panel on first. So we'll just take the backing off. Sorry, this is probably the slowest bit. Oh, got it the wrong way around, haven't I? Okay. All right. I'll take that away. Okay. I put a little sticky note where I wanted it to go, and I'm lining it up in the middle. So the 7 centimetre mark is where I want the panel to go, right in the middle, and then you press down. So that's, I know that's the centre. I had a little pencil mark there so that I could easily make sure I got things in the right place. So it's up to you. You can centre it. Like I did on this card, I did centre it, and I'm centering this one. But you can offset it if you want something higher or lower, you can. But I think with square cards, I think it's better to actually centre what it is you need. So I'm just going to put that there for a minute while I get my panel lined up on the 14 centimetre mark. You can see I've got the little marker on my Simply Scored, and put that in place. And now it's a matter of, as I said, make sure the open part is facing inwards. So let me get that there again. And now it's a matter of just pressing down. And there we go. So I'm just going to turn it over and give that a good rub, because, as I said, this has to hold the whole, I don't need that anymore. This has to hold the whole piece in place. Now, what I do is then put another panel on the back, and that's where I will write my message to whoever is receiving it. So again, I've used tear and tape because it does give it that little bit of extra reinforcement. And for today, I'm just going to eyeball this so it looks about even, and press down. So there you have it. You can see how quickly that came together. Stands up by itself. It folds nicely into, say, a 6x6 envelope. I've got one handy. Let me just check. So yeah, so that will go in. That's it. This is a 6x6. You may even be able to get a smaller envelope, but I like that size. And as I said, the centerpiece, it's really up to you as to how you want to decorate it. You can use die cuts. You can just use simple squares, which is what I've done, and turned it and made it a diamond shape. So I hope you enjoy that. If you've got any questions, let me know. But as I said, this Symbols of Fortune Designer Series paper is retiring in about a week or so, and so are the die cuts for this. But the new frames have just been launched, so you should be able to get those for quite some time. Anyway, thanks for watching. Bye.